Hey guys, welcome back to our book study on Extreme Ownership by Jocko, Willink, and Leif, Babin. And now we're in chapter 4. If you've missed any of the other chapter reviews, go back and check them out. Should be on YouTube, should be on our Leaders Are Readers book club videos. You can go back and check some of those out, but we're in chapter 4. I think this is actually our 5th video because we did the intro, but this is chapter 4, and chapter 4 is entitled Check the Ego. Check that ego. Hey, you know, I don't know about you guys, but when I grew up with some sayings or idioms. And one of the idioms, you know, some of the idioms are, you know, money doesn't grow on trees, or things like you got to be in the right place at the right time, or do as I say, not as I do. How many of you know that when you become a leader, you no longer get to use that phrase? And that phrase is rooted in ego, meaning that you think you know more than somebody else, right? As a leader, you show the way. You know the way. We talked about that last video in vision and in belief. You know the way, and you show the way, and you go the way. You want to become a leader that other people willfully follow because of who you are and what you represent. And in order to do that, you got to check that ego. And so just a couple of things stand out to me in this chapter. Again, one more time, I love the way he's broken the book down, or they've broken the book down. Starts with a military story of how they learned the principle, and then there's like a small blurb of what the actual principle is, and then how to actually apply it in business context. So I just wanted to share with you a couple of things in the principle component that stood out to me. I would love to hear what stands out to you. Comment below or comment in our group some of the things that stand out to you, maybe how you've learned a specific principle, those kind of things. I'd love to hear that. But one of the things that stand out to me is he says ego clouds and disrupts everything: the planning process, the ability to take good advice, and the ability to accept constructive criticism. One of the things I know is that humility is the way forward. And what I mean by that is, yes, you have gifts, talents, and abilities. Yes, you do. Yes, you do play an integral role on the team, but it's not you as the leader alone. It's about the vision. And the only way forward is through humility. Ego causes us to step back. I think, you know, one of the things as leaders, our power doesn't lie in ourselves. Our power as leaders lies in empowering other people, and only secure leaders can empower other people. When we don't empower other people, we don't only hurt ourselves because we're doing everything. We're coming up with all the ideas. We're thinking of all the solutions. Man, we're stressing ourselves out. But by not empowering other people, we don't allow them to be in a position to have their gifts and talents shine through. You know, he does make a mention here that ego drives the most successful people in life. And that's true, right? If you're going to be in a leadership position, you have to have passion. You have to be driven. But there's a balancing act between ego and confidence. Ego and confidence. You're confident in your ability to get things done. You're confident in your ability to move forward. But there's a transition that has to take place in your confidence in not only yourself, but in the team that you have developed around you, and empowering them, being willing to listen to other ideas, other people's ideas, being willing to accept feedback. You know, a lot of times we don't like a complaining customer, right? Or we don't like a complaining staff or team member. Well, within every complaint, there's also a request. And within every complaint from a customer standpoint, that's an opportunity to grow. That's an opportunity to gain a lifelong raving fan. If you hear the complaint, and if you can hear the request in that complaint and serve them well during that complaint, you've got a lifelong customer. As a leader, if you can hear the complaint, and if you can serve them in that complaint and hear that request within that, you can gain influence. And John Maxwell talks about, you know, kind of like influences, you know, change in your pocket. And each time you add value to somebody, you kind of, you know, put a little bit of change in your pocket. And each time you do something that's away from that influence, you dump change out, right? So one other thing that stands out here, he says, ego can prevent a leader from conducting an honest, realistic assessment of his or her own performance and performance of the team. It's very hard to see the picture when you're in the frame, and it's even more difficult when you have an ego issue. And a lot of times it is difficult to see the picture when you're in the frame, and that's why it's so important to, one, be open to constructive feedback, but to have people who can come alongside of you to be able to speak into that. I hope if you're watching this, you have an accountability partner, you have a friend that you've given permission to take the flashlight and to shine into those corners. Some people may need a coach to come alongside of them and mentor you. And if that's something you're interested in, I'd reach out to me. I'd love to do that. We've also created an environment for male entrepreneurs where we put 10 other entrepreneurs around the table to form your personal board of advisors. So if you'd love to have 10 other entrepreneurs come alongside of you to serve as guardrails as you grow your business, or to think through some areas that you may be stuck in, that's great. I'd love to talk to you about that. But having people in your life who can come alongside of you, that you've given permission to speak life into you, so vital and so key to any of our growth and development. So having that accountability. Hope this has added value to you. Again, I'd love to hear some of your, some of the things that have stuck out to you in chapter 4. Comment below. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Feel free to comment, share this with a friend or family member. I hope you guys have a great day, and God bless.